You're listening to Table for Five with Felicia and Annette, only on LA Talk Radio.
Good Monday morning to everyone. Good morning.
Live.
We are live this morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
What's
Our
today's
lovely
date?
last. Today is Monday, December the 4th.
The 4th. Oh my goodness.
2017. We only have a couple more Mondays left in 2017.
That's right. Oh my gosh. We did it. We did it.
Yes.
Woohoo!
Yes. We give ourselves an applause.
Yes.
Yes,
Let's
we
do that.
An applause.
We did it. Oh,
Wow.
that was. Wait, you and those quick
Special
applause.
effects.
That's a little.
That's a quick list. We're trying to get it.
We have improved since the last time you were with us, Robert Burns.
Yes.
We have improved.
Mr. Burns is a reoccurring guest. Can we call him reoccurring? Is that good?
Recurring, not reoccurring.
Oh,
recurring.
Okay. Recurring. Sorry.
It's all right.
Sorry, I gotta get my vocabulary right, straight.
Recurring guest. He was on our audio.
Yes.
So now we're doing video, and now you can see who it was that was talking crazy the last time he was here.
Now you can see and hear his crazy.
Exactly. You get to do both today.
Yes.
Woo-hoo.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. If you haven't already guessed, it's Table for Five. Welcome to Table for Five. We have almost a kind of full table today, but you there out in our viewing, listening audience will always have a seat at our table. You will always be our fifth guest.
Yes.
Always
Call in.
have room for you. We're going to have a fun and exciting show today, full of hot topics, lots of opinions, lots of hopefully laughter, maybe a little bit of argument here and there. I don't
Always.
know. You know, we all love each other.
Robert's here.
at
We're
the ta-
always arguing.
No, we're not, but we will. And that's why they call it Table Five. I always wanted to know that one.
But yeah.
Why we call it Table for Five? Because
Yeah.
we always have room at our table for everyone and everyone's opinion
Yeah.
and views.
We normally have 4. It's a table of 4.
Yeah.
And then the listener and the viewer is the fifth guest.
Our fifth guest.
Yeah.
So if you would like to be a guest today on today's show and call in, give your opinion, I'll let you know what our little topics are about if you want to go ahead and get your research done. But the number to call, write this down real quick, is area code 818-570-5085. Again, 818-570-5085. So you can jump in on our conversation and the topics that we are going to be talking about.
Yes.
This
Which will be
month.
an hour of hot topics. There's a lot going on in the world.
It's a hot day.
And listen, these are opinions. We're not accusing anybody. Do not sue us for anything. Everything will be
Well.
alleged.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Okay.
And so we want to make sure these are strictly our opinions. But anyway, we want to let our listening viewers and know how to keep up with us. So Facebook, as you know, we're on Facebook Live. I'm sure people
Shout out to everyone on Facebook
Yes,
Live.
thanks for following us and connecting with us. Also Instagram, we're on Twitter, Table for Five, and our website, which is our one-stop shop website, is table45.com. And there you can catch up with all of our previous shows and all the information about us, how we can advertise with us. We've been doing sponsors and advertisers, so we're really happy about that. We have some new ones coming up we're really excited about.
Exactly.
So if you want to know how to join in on that, just go to our website. And we are happy to announce that all of our videos actually have been more than half on our YouTube channel.
Yes.
We've had a YouTube channel that's kind of been dormant for a little bit.
Yeah.
And so now we've been able to take all of our videos and upload it there. So if there's a lot of ways you can catch up with us if you missed a show, want to see a show.
Yeah.
So YouTube, Table for Five on YouTube will be there.
The link is also going to be on our website, right?
Yes.
Yep, you can get to
the
YouTube
website is the
channel.
one-stop shop. So you could go to the website and then get wherever you want to go.
Search for everything.
Yeah.
Archive shows, current shows. If you happen to be there at 11 o'clock a.m. every Monday, join us at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can click the Listen Live button and it'll route you straight to see us.
I know. Isn't that exciting?
And you can get some more information about sponsorship.
Yes.
And we will take a break right now to let you
Yes.
know about our sponsors. Today's show is being brought to you, again, by Robert Mata Designs. If you are looking for that perfect gift for that perfect guy, go to www.robertmatadesigns.com. Robert Mata Designs for the well-dressed man.
I like the way you say that.
I
That's
love
really
it.
cool.
I love saying it.
I know.
It's a great gift, though, for real.
Yes.
The holidays are coming up.
You're
everyone
selling out on stuff, so I just want to do
okay.
that disclaimer.
Well, hurry up and get on that
already
website.
Sold out on a couple of things.
And order some stuff. Great gifts. Everyone needs a tie. Everyone needs a pocket square.
Just one.
Yeah, just one. At least one that's kind of
doing it right now.
interchangeable. and a suit. I was explaining to my nephew over the Thanksgiving holiday. We had our nephew come in from college, and we were explaining to him the importance of having at least one good suit. My husband didn't really have one when we were younger, but we did call it what he has, the holiday outfit. He had the holiday outfit, which was a nice shirt, one nice tie, and a pair of slacks. And that was wedding, funeral, and holiday party attire.
Yeah, listen, they say that for women. Have one good black dress, the little black dress, the LBD, right?
Yep.
So that's the same for a man. You need that one good suit.
Absolutely.
And it, obviously having a custom suit can, be pricey for some. But if my husband has always said, if you buy an off the rack suit, have it taken in.
Yes.
You just go to your dry cleaners, say, you know what, I want this to fit me a little bit nicer, more tailored, and for a couple of $100, you have a suit that looks like it's custom made.
Yeah.
So it's just one great suit that you can interchange the jacket, the pants, or just the suit together. I think every man should have that in their closet. Every young man should have. Young men is tricky because they
so
grow out
growing.
of stuff.
Right.
So
Right.
Doing a custom for them is a little
I
crazy.
say once a young man is in their early 20s, invest it, go ahead and get, maybe help your young man that you have in your life invest in a nice little suit. And we will be doing that through Robert Mata Designs when our kids get a little older. So thank you for sponsoring us, Robert Mata Designs. And
Absolutely.
again, go to that website, www.robertmatadesigns.com. Robert Mata Design for the well-dressed man.
Yes, exactly.
So we're going to let you know just a couple of the topics that we're going to hit, just so that if people want to jump in, join in, if they have anything to say. This is like, I know we're getting ready for the holidays and all, but there's a lot of stuff going on in the world.
Yes.
And so we just wanted to kind of jump in and catch up on it before we hit the holidays and, everyone kind of loses their mind going crazy. I feel like things are happening in our world and we get so consumed in our world, our little bitty world with our families, with Christmas shopping and people come in and decorating your house and all that other kind of stuff, that we lose sight of what's happening in the world around us. And I think that's
we stop paying attention.
Yes.
And I think when things start happening, they go under the radar and we're like, wait, when did that happen?
Yes.
We were too busy shopping.
Back when you were doing Black Friday.
Exactly.
Out at 3:00 in the morning shopping. Exactly. Not me, but okay. So listen, we're going to do the hot topics. We're going to touch a little bit on. We say politics. We're going to talk about Donald Trump and his Twitter account. Yeah. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you think? Are you connected to him? Do you want to stay connected to him?
Should the president even have one?
Yes. Should the president
independent
have one?
of the White House?
Okay. We already know what her opinion is. Okay. Let's save that.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's my frustration.
Okay, so Annette's very frustrated about that. So sexual assault and sexual harassment. The difference between it being in the public sector, as we've seen, like with the directors and the people in the movie industry.
The private sector.
I'm sorry, the public sector, meaning the senators, the congressmen,
the president.
Yes, the president. Because I would say, yes, that he had sexual harassment issues. So these are elected officials that are public servants.
Right.
So the difference between that and then the private sector, meaning the directors, the people in Hollywood, NBC, or the people in the news media, and like, why are they being taken care of swiftly?
Yes.
And then we're going to be talking a little bit about pop culture with Jay-Z, Beyonce using their art to heal their relationship. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's not a good idea? The media, of course, that ties back into the, politics, this fake news that we have out there. We're not fake news. We're just opinionated news. So that's the difference between us. And then a little bit about, something a little bit of kind of fun. Also pop culture is Meghan Markle and the engagement of Meghan Markle to Prince Harry.
Yes.
Prince Harry. Prince Harry.
I like him too. I like them both. I was a big Princess Diana fan.
I think William is handsome, but I don't like that his hairline is receding.
Well, because it's hereditary. He can't control that.
I know.
What does that got to do with it?
I don't know. I don't know. I just wish he was more hair on top, because he's a very handsome man.
Yes.
Very handsome. But we would like to welcome you to our table.
Okay,
Mr.
now can
Robert
you give him
Burns.
a legit applause?
We'll give you a full-length applause.
Look at that. Isn't that great? We got a budget. We have a little budget.
Yeah, a little bit of
tiny budget. That costs all 10 cents.
99
99 cents.
99 cents and then some. So we would like to welcome Mr. Robert Burns to the show. He has been on here before, and now you get to see his loveliness all in person. Mr.
You're
Robert
getting
Burns
greetings on
is a-
Facebook Live already, Mr. Burns.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, Mark Grigsby, Robert Mata, our
Mark,
fans.
Robert, my buddies.
We know about 25 Roberts
I know.
in our family.
I know.
And
It's
so
terrible.
Well, since Robert is watching, I need a suit.
Oh,
I need a suit.
Wow.
But
Oh,
I will,
honey.
I will call you. I was trying to do it on my phone, but
oh
There you go.
Lord
they didn't pay for
Jesus.
Wi-Fi service, so we got issues.
Yes,
I
his,
said we had a small budget.
his
I know.
friends, Mark Grigsby and Robert Mata, are yes watching.
Yes.
So your friend Mark Grigsby was going to try to come in today, but I think he was scared.
Scared.
He was scared to come in.
Because
He-
you know we
he-
get crazy up in here.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I'll take care of it. No
we
problem.
say crazy stuff.
Yes, we
But
will.
listen, but I really want folks to call in. And if you're on Facebook Live, you can leave your comments there. But
Yeah.
call us. Our number is 818. It's on our, if you're watching us, it's up on there. But it's 818-570-5085.
If you have something to say.
570-5085. If you want to chime in on any of these things that we're talking about. And our disclaimer is these are our opinions. And we are not accusing anybody.
Yes, I am.
wow.
Well,
I will accuse.
yeah,
somebody.
no.
Oh,
Listen,
Lord.
allegedly people do certain things, but just be mindful of that. This is just stuff that we're
Yes.
seeing happening in the world, and I think sometimes we hear like I watch The View. Obviously I record it and I watch it, and I'm sitting in there, and with the 5 ladies that are always on that, I always have a different view. Like, and I find it fascinating that you could put together 5 women from different walks of life, and I still don't agree with half
Any
of
of
what
them.
they say.
Yeah.
So this is basically what this is going to be. These are our opinions. No one needs to text or email or.
Well, you can, but it's not going to make a difference.
Exactly. Just let
Well,
us know
for
what
me,
you
it's not.
believe.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
What you believe to be true or not, if you agree or disagree. But hey.
Yeah, we have the conversation. We're going to start the
It's a
conversation
conversation.
and having the conversation. So I want to let people know a little bit about your background. We met you several years ago through elementary school.
I didn't.
Oh,
You know how I met you?
Oh,
Do you
God.
remember?
Was it a good thing?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
You don't remember how we met?
How did we meet?
My husband and I. My husband and I didn't meet him by myself.
Yeah, it sounds a little sketchy.
In the Apple store.
Yeah, Robert, you met together.
We went to the Apple store.
Oh yeah, you had an issue.
Yeah, I had an issue. I think it was on my phone and computer, and he was working at the
Apple
bar.
store.
The
Yeah, the
Genius
bar.
bar. Oh, you were a
and
genius?
He was.
No, I was filling in,
Oh.
and then she walked in with her husband,
Yes.
and at that time, I think I was the only African American person there.
That is That's not why I was attracted to you. I just went to him. He happened to help us. But what did I do? You remember what I said to you?
No, I don't.
No, yeah, because you don't even remember that we met. So we met him at the Apple store, and we're talking. And I looked at him. I said, "You remind me of my brother,
Oh.
my brother Angel." I said, "You remind me so much of my brother Angel
I
at
can
the
see
time."
it
Yeah,
now.
right.
Yes.
And so
remember
that's
now.
where I met him, and then
Full circle.
Full circle.
And then at school.
At
So
school.
you didn't even know that he was
No.
at school.
No.
Oh, wow.
No.
So he was a fellow parent, crazy, with us parents.
We won't mention the school.
No, we won't.
Egremont Schools in
Oh.
Chatsworth.
She
Don't go
said
there.
it. I didn't.
I'm just trying to be truthful here.
Don't come after me.
Not the
Don't
greatest
come after me.
choice.
Well, they
that you
came
could
after me
make.
already.
Yeah.
And they came after you.
Yeah.
They haven't. I'm thus here.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Anyway, so we met at
yes, so he was
elementary.
a parent, and so we all, crazy got together, and our children
Caused a lot of
went to the
trouble.
same school, and but Mr. Burns has had an interesting life. We
I have.
learned we learned one New Year's Eve that you went to seminary school.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so take us in the timeline. So young
What'd you do
Burns
first?
So-
graduates from high school, and then
You
what
wanted to
does he
be a
do?
priest?
I wanted to be a Catholic priest.
Did you really?
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Were you
Yes.
raised Catholic?
I was raised Catholic. I went to a Catholic school all my life.
Do you have family
Were you
members?
born and raised out here?
Yes, I.
Yes.
I
Well,
was.
did you have family members that were priests?
No,
So where did that come from?
I was an altar boy,
Oh.
and so
okay.
and no one touched me.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yes,
Lord,
amen.
thank
Many
you.
lawsuits.
But I wanted to be a priest, and
Okay.
so I decided that I wanted to become a priest. So I went to seminary school
That's fantastic.
Where did you go?
in San Diego,
okay.
but that didn't last long.
Oh no.
No,
You
it
didn't
didn't.
finish.
No, I left.
Oh, okay.
I woke up one day and I was kind of reading. To make a long story short, I was reading the Bible, and there's some verses in there that says, you should honor no other person but God. So when I asked a priest, a teacher, they just told me to pray about it, and so to kind of made sense. So I went to pray about it, and I still didn't get any answers. And so I asked another priest, and they said, go say 7 Hail Marys and pray about it. And so I was looking at the Station of the Cross, and I was looking at, unfortunately, I think that was when I started noticing that I was an African American, and I started noticing all the statues were of Caucasian people. And I said, where's us? Where's Hispanics? Where's us? And there was no answer. And then a friend of mine who went to the military came home and told me about Germany, how they had pictures of African American Jesus. And that,
Interesting.
yeah, that kind of shocked me.
I love that.
And that's when I kind of left becoming a priest, and then I joined the military because of that.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
when you decided to leave the seminary, did the priests and people talk to you and say like, "Hey, you know, why would you do this? You know, you're on a great path." Did they try to talk you out of leaving?
Yes,
they did.
I mean, they tried to talk you out of it. They were really cool. I had a father named Father Bannock, and I remember him because he said these magical words, which was, "You can read the Bible all day." And you can listen to someone else read the Bible, but you need to read it for yourself because you will get the meaning. Don't listen to someone else.
Right.
And so that's the reason why. When he said that, and I also talked to a brother, Ron. He was an African American brother because they had priests and they had brothers. I ran into him with my family. We were in Las Vegas, and he was in Vegas.
Was he still a brother?
He was still a brother.
Oh, nice.
And he said, you still can be, you still can celebrate God, but God didn't want you to be, not enjoying life because he enjoyed life. And his philosophy to me was and here we're going to religion, but his philosophy was if Jesus came here and died on the cross, he had to experience everything mankind would have experienced. That includes love of someone else. And so that was another reason why I left. So
because
I
at the
went to-
time, well, and still now, priests cannot get married.
priests
Correct.
cannot get married.
Right.
They
Yeah.
can't have a family.
Yeah.
And so that's
So
to me,
what are the priests? I'm not Catholic, so this I'm asking very honestly. So why are certain priests married?
it's not a Catholic religion.
Yeah.
That's not a Catholic religion.
Really?
All
Okay.
Catholic priests are not married. None
Yes.
of them are married.
They can't be
I
married.
think you can be a deacon.
Oh,
Deacons
so maybe
can
it's
be
another
married?
That's
level
a
or
different.
another.
That's a different.
Don't we have deacons in the Catholic religion?
You have
I don't know.
bishops.
I am Catholic.
You have bishops, cardinals.
You are
Oh,
Catholic.
yeah.
You're-
I am Catholic. I went to 12 years of Catholic school too.
Oh my
you very much.
word.
Wow.
Okay. All
How
right. So
much
I just thought
did I
maybe
learn?
that's I don't know, maybe
So that was the way of life. And I went to the military and I learned a lot more.
So then you went to the military after that.
After
After
seminary.
the
Yes.
seminary school, and then how long were you in the military? What branch of the
I was in the
military?
Army.
In the
I went
Army.
to the military because I didn't want to go to college. And so
OMG.
I didn't want to go to college. So my
Burns
mom
was like, I'm out.
I'm not going. So my mom said, well, you either have to get a job or go to college. And myself was like, being young and stupid, I ain't going to college. I'm just going to go to the military and have fun. Well, in the
I want to
military.
go have fun.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Well,
How's that for you guys?
yes, when you go to the military, they kind of make you go to school.
You're right.
So she got her wish was go to college, learn.
All right, so here I got a question about the priest thing.
Yes.
What about charismatic priests? Are they not married? Doesn't that stem from the Catholic Church? The charismatic movement in the Catholic Church? I'm just
I don't know.
I don't know. I've been out of the Catholic religion for a while.
okay. So these two Catholics here don't know anything
Sorry.
about
We are not-
Catholicism in 2017.
2017.
Okay.
If I go
Because
to-
you know they
if
changed the
Because
rules too.
I heard of the charismatic movement in the Catholic Church, so maybe that is because I thought certain priests.
Well,
were
I know that
married.
there's a big push for women to be able to be like priests, but I don't know that they were going to call them priests, and that's why I thought we could have.
Listen, if there's a
deacons.
Catholic, a practicing Catholic out there that can clarify this conversation and bring some clarity,
Right, because if I
We'd
walk in the
appreciate
church
you.
right now, the bells would ring.
oh,
I'm telling you right
or
now.
it might be set on fire.
Or we have an earthquake. One of
oh
those.
my
So,
gosh!
But
Oh
But
my
no, I
gosh.
love it. I love your background because you are so eclectic in your experiences, your walk of life. So it brings a really good perspective because when people start to, say there's certain things or whatever, then I love that you can hit them with the 1-2 punch.
Well, I mean, he hasn't been in the practicing. You're not a practicing Catholic, so you don't know the evolution yet of the church
No,
right now.
I don't know the
because this
evolution.
Catholic, as a matter of fact, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we just had this conversation with Paul because we were talking about the Pope. And we were talking, he was like, well, why is the Pope so important? Like, and so we were telling him, my husband was like, he really kind of rules this Vatican. It's like
Right.
a little country, and so,
And the religion.
but this Pope that they have now is so liberal
Oh,
in his
right.
thinking
Right.
that he's really shaking up the Catholic Church in a good way. I think it's a great way. So I think the
Yeah.
church has evolved a little bit from
Oh,
probably
yes.
the days you guys were in school with the
Yes.
crazy nuns.
I would say for sure.
I mean, not crazy nuns. I didn't mean to say that out loud.
I would.
Jesus.
I would say for sure, yes. And I
Yeah.
don't believe that that they have like nuns and priests generally teach it. From what I've seen in the high schools that I have toured for my children that are Catholic based, there are no more nuns, sisters, and people of the cloth teaching really anymore. I
Well,
think they might be like around, but they have like certified teachers and all that.
Well, they
other
kind of
stuff.
got out of the way. My son goes to a private school, and they don't even say prayer. In
Oh,
school.
wow.
So
In a Catholic?
In a Catholic, they don't say prayer because they don't want to offend everyone.
Because there's
There's
other
there are
religions.
different
Yeah.
there.
for
So
sure.
they
Oh,
don't, so
okay.
they don't
But
even-
you know, that's very amazing, and that's an amazing inclusive type of thing. Unlike our president, who made a very a bold statement by saying, "Now we can say Merry Christmas again." Like I didn't think that we could.
We never stopped saying Merry
Yes,
Christmas.
I didn't think
I
we
don't
could
understand how
not
people
say Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
I think it was just trying to be inclusive,
Right.
where people were more like, let's say Happy Holidays, or
Right.
when you're in like retailers or you're out dealing with the general public.
Yeah.
You want to say Happy Holidays so that
Listen,
you are
nobody said to
inclusive.
somebody, "Don't say Merry Christmas." Nobody said that. Nobody said to me, "Please don't say Merry Christmas" when you walk into the store. Nobody said that. So somebody started this crazy hysterical movement a couple of years back, and
That we
people
can't say Merry
that we
Christmas.
can't say Merry Christmas. I don't even know where that came from. And I just like I don't understand why he's making that such a big deal that
'Cause
he's
that's all he can make it.
that he's resurrecting.
because POTUS has lost his mind.
He's lost his mind since birth.
So yeah, so let's get on that topic a little bit. So you've been in the military,
Yes.
and then
Inclusive.
Yes.
inclusive. What did I not say? Oh.
Somebody said inclusive.
So you were in the military, so you
Yes.
got some nice little life experience in the
Yes.
military.
About POTUS, yes.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm not
Did you
the
serve
military.
any wars, or did you go to?
Can't talk about it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
Really?
it's a secret.
So you were like in a.
It's a secret.
I've served in some stuff.
Okay.
I've been there, but
I know somebody else that I had that conversation with. They're like, we're not allowed to say. I'm like, what,
Can't talk
am I
about it.
surrounded with crazy underground people?
no. All I can say is, from now, if I was in the military, I would probably be trying to get out, especially with POTUS and.
Oh
Yes,
yeah. Well, listen,
yes.
we're trying to get out of the country.
Yes.
Forget the military.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. She's trying to move.
I'm trying to move. I'm trying. So how do you feel about that? Do you really feel like this person, number 45, that has been elected by people in this country, are going? It is setting us up for a war. How
Well-
do you feel about that? How do you feel about war and military?
Well, I can
and Korea.
I can tell you, since he says fake news, I'll try to be straight honest with the American people.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to war with North Korea. Let's get that straight.
You don't think so?
We're not going to go to war with North Korea.
Okay.
And the reason why we're not going to go, I'm going to be honest, and I don't think the President of the United States will actually tell you, North Korea will have a nuclear weapon. They will join the powers to be. We're not going to go with North Korea because that incident. They have a nuclear weapon. They get a seat at the table. We're not going to attack North Korea because if we attack North Korea, then we have to deal with China and Russia. And if we attack North Korea has approximately 2,000 artillery shells on the DMZ,
We better start running.
and those artillery shells will hit South Korea, and millions of people will die, and that includes American soldiers. So family Americans who have soldiers over in South Korea, they are aware of the situation. Those soldiers are aware of the situation. And for that reason, we're not going to go to war. North Korea will have a nuclear bomb, and that's.
But do
all.
you think that he cares about that? Like, do you? Because I feel like he's the type of person that his, bravado and his like, I got to do this and I got to do
Well,
that, in his mouth is just
Well,
getting us in
I
trouble.
think there's a in the military we have what we call an unlawful order, and that gives any serviceman the ability to say no, I'm not going to follow that order if they believe it's unlawful.
Oh, interesting.
So checks and balances is yes, the President of the United States can launch nuclear weapons. The question is, will someone let him launch nuclear
Yeah,
weapons?
it's not like he has a button in the White House and he goes like that.
Yeah.
So
That I figured out through reading is like
So-
there's like
Right.
a protocol.
there's a protocol.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's steps to keep things from happening, but we're not going to go to war with North Korea.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all talk.
Right.
Okay.
North Korea is not going to launch a nuclear bomb towards the United States. That's all talk.
They're just shooting it up in the air to it's like they're like fluffing their
It's
feathers.
kind of like when
thing.
President Reagan it's kind of like when Libya told President Reagan back in the day, crossed this line, and President crossed the line and he struck and he killed Libya's president's, I think, first child. So that's all it is. It's just a bunch of people just talking. The
Yeah.
president, on the other hand, doesn't understand when to shut up.
The
I'm
weight
sorry.
of it. I think, and going back to,
Yes.
someone said this the other day in a news piece, was that they believe that right now he's just a puppet because there's so many people operating behind him that are trying to keep America safe for real. But he's just so out of control.
But
with
he's
his,
very disruptive.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. There's people behind him going behind the curtain saying,
Yes.
this man is out of control. We got to keep America safe. And they're operating behind him. But
Okay,
he's
so
just,
when are those people going to pull the plug on his Twitter and
they're not going to
like
pull the plug. There's two generals that's there, and those two men
are running the country.
Are running,
the country.
basically running
They're the
country.
presidents of. They're running the country.
They have a lot of pull. You have two generals, former generals who are in his cabinet, and you have the generals who are in charge of the military. They understand what's
Right.
happening. The president can talk all he wants, but he does need the country to back them. Congress at that point in time probably will jump in because you need to declare war. We're not going to have
Right.
a nuclear strike on a foreign country.
right.
So this is the thing that now this goes to Twitter. I think what the president is doing and continues to do is that he's raising. Forget about the military right now because we know that there are people, operatives that are in place that are really taking care of that, right? It's not so much the president.
Right.
But I feel what the president is doing is he's raising up chaos. He's creating chaos amongst the American people.
Right.
That's where I think he's being effective, and it's really pouring out. And I go back to the Twitter where we're
On
going
his
to talk
social
about,
media.
is that he does that on Twitter, and that's why I feel like Barack Obama had a Twitter account, but it was controlled by the White House. It wasn't a willy-nilly. Let me just say good morning.
So when
folks.
he was on, let's just clarify. So when Barack Obama was president and he had a Twitter, he only had the POTUS Twitter. He did not have a Barack Obama
no, he did not.
Twitter handle
No.
that he was doing either both
No.
or sometimes would do. He only
No.
had the one.
The one.
And he was the first president
Right.
really that had the social
Right.
media. And it
And-
was through the White House.
Through the White House.
And
Right now we
so-
have two Twitter accounts. We have the official White House Twitter account.
That's the POTUS
That's the-
account.
Yes.
No,
Or-
and it's the White House account. They retweet Donald Trump's tweets.
Oh.
So
okay.
he has his account, and then there's the White House official. So every tweet now we've discovered or that we've learned, every tweet he puts out is an official tweet. And so the White House
Even-
It's
will
a retweet.
Yeah, so all
Even
that
the
it's-
ones, so the ones that are coming from his personal account are
Yes.
still considered official.
Yes, because he's the
Right.
president.
Yes.
So it's like chaos because
Yeah.
I'm sure the White House going, do we really have to retweet what he just said about Matt Lauer? Do we really have to retweet what he
Yeah.
just said about, whomever he
Yeah.
starts talking about? That's so unethical. I just think he's just so
Yes,
unethical.
you
Like
think?
so that's why I'm saying I feel like his personal Twitter account should be deleted. Like I feel like somebody should say, you know what, you can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
You have caused enough chaos in this world.
Yeah.
So that for instance, here's one. There was a news report this morning that President Trump tweeted something about Michael Flynn this weekend, and if in fact what he wrote was true, then he knew about Michael Flynn lying. So he incriminated himself. But now the spin, because they're the king of spins over there, the attorney is saying, no, he didn't write that. I wrote that.
Oh, that's
so
such
now
BS. Yeah, I
that's
heard that.
chaos.
Yes.
So just shut the dumb Twitter down.
Yeah.
Work only through an official account where people are going to say, oh, that's not a good idea. We can't tweet that.
Yeah.
That's incriminating. That could put you in jail. Don't tweet that.
But he already did that. So what you
like-
brought up a good point earlier. Like, don't shut it down. Why?
I wouldn't shut it down because you actually kind of I can't even describe it. When someone tweets, it's just that's into their soul. That's what they.
It's coming
believe.
straight
That's-
from here,
That's
right out.
what they
Or
think,
right
and
out.
that's what they want the world to know. So when people send tweets, they're actually expressing themselves. It could be writing, it could be a video, but that's what they feel. So when he's tweeting, he's telling you how he truly feels. So
And he's telling you who he is.
he's telling you who he is.
well, I don't think we've ever doubted who he is. I don't think that's ever been, because during the campaign he demonstrated that. I think that now as the president, like when he campaigned and did it, oh well, that's you're still not you're still a private citizen. Now you're a public person where
He doesn't care though.
I know, but I feel like the White House should care.
Oh, I
because
agree.
it's affecting how we communicate.
Well,
It's
the-
affecting how we talk to each other. It's affecting how we eat. Even
the White House won't care because
he's out.
the White House won't care because the people who are in the White House is who he picked.
That's true. So how do you?
Can't,
so yeah,
they're not going to control him. That's
Yeah.
That's a job. That's like me being a manager of Britney Spears. And I know Britney Spears is going nuts, but she's feeding me. So I'm not.
And so you got to do.
I got to do. With
Well, then
So they
they
have to
shouldn't be in
do-
public service because then they're not looking for the best interest of the
well, and I
the
think
United
that's why
States.
it's on us. The onus then becomes on us, the American people, who are sitting here watching, and instead of becoming numb to it, which I fear that we are, it's just
Yes,
an
we
everyday
are.
occurrence because there's so much ridiculousness that he's tweeting out, like every minute. Like you can't even really keep up with
No,
it
I
because
can't.
it
It's
changes every
disgusting.
10 minutes that he's saying something different. He's saying something crazy. So it almost gets lost in the fact that he basically incriminated himself with that tweet.
Yes, he
Like,
did.
Like, can we continue to talk about that? But we can't even continue to talk about it because 10 minutes from now he's going
Have
to do
you-
something else crazy.
Have you ever thought maybe the Republicans want him to do that?
Because
Why?
Because if you keep incriminating yourself and you keep saying these stupid stuff, and if I bring you on charges to impeach you, I can use your own account against you.
Well, yeah, I hope that they can.
But I don't think they're going
the
to.
Republicans, no, the Democrats would want to do that.
No, the Republicans would have to because they control both houses. But
Well,
but
they
that's
want to
a-
wait. I think the Republicans are waiting to get all the people in because all these other mid-season
elections.
elections. So they want to secure those seats, and then they'll be like, "Okay, you got to go," because
It
you've
could-
caused
it could
enough
be-
I
chaos.
it could
don't
be true.
know.
I think the
I hope
president's
so.
going to stay his 4 years.
No, I disagree.
Please don't.
I
say
disagree.
that.
I
He's
think
gonna-
that this is what I believe. I believe that it's going to get so hot. And someone said this on the news the other day, and I was like, yes. I believe he will resign, and he's going to blame it
Oh,
on.
no.
No. Yes, he will, because when he gets closer to the impeachable process, he's not going to want to go down like that. He's going to be like, I'm going to resign because I want this to be in the best interest of making America great again. Mike Pence could carry this torch for me. I don't want to disrupt America. He's going to spin it to make him look like he's leaving with his head up.
I
Yes.
can see that, but I don't think
Well,
so.
in
Go
the
ahead.
military, we would call that a psycho, and he's not going to do it.
Okay, so
I think
what
he
do you
will.
think?
He's
What
not.
do you
He's
think?
going to. If he can get on the news and say, "Hey, I grabbed women's crotch," and this is locker room talk, and then 8 months later, that wasn't me.
Yes, right. He's saying
That wasn't me. And that's
Have you
fake
heard that?
news. And
Yes.
yes, I did
Well, Billy
apologize, but
Bush-
that wasn't me
But
either.
Billy
Billy
got fired.
he got fired, but he's back.
Oh,
So
is he?
yeah, he's
He's
back,
coming
and
back.
yeah, he did an
But-
editorial in the New York Times saying, in fact, that was you in the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Don't lie. And he's going to be on Stephen Colbert tonight, and that's his
Ooh.
first official interview since all the
Oh,
chaos.
yeah, I gotta
Which
watch
is
that.
what I want to say about him getting fired. Okay, I was thinking about this the other day. He got fired for just laughing. For being in there, he didn't say
Yeah.
he didn't sexually harass any women.
No.
He just laughed,
Yeah. Right.
and he got fired and
Yes.
was gone for like a year.
Yeah.
And like
18
what?
months.
Yeah, like why did they do that to him?
I think they were trying to set an example, which kind of brings us into unless
Really?
you had
But
something
we still
else.
elected the man.
Well,
Yeah,
I didn't
because
elect the man.
I didn't either.
I didn't
It's
either.
those people who
All
who
y'all
like-
people who voted for him out
Let me know
there.
how that's going.
Did you want to say anything else about that?
No, I
Oh,
didn't.
okay. Well, I was just going to talk about with the harassment thing. We're going to move on to sexual harassment, bringing that part up because I think that's interesting. I think that they were setting an example, which I think is what's happening now with all these people being fired and reprimanded in the private sector with the sexual harassment.
But you have to be careful with that. You have
With
to
what?
be careful with the sexual harassment and firing
Okay.
people. And the reason why I'm saying that
Yes.
is as a guy.
Yes, we haven't really had a guy's perspective.
So you have to be careful with that. And I'm going to give an example. We had a couple of years ago, you had Duke students, a lacrosse team, who was accused of sexual harassment and actually
raping.
rape.
Yeah.
And their lives was turned upside down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I understand women get sexual harassment, and let me be the first to say, yes, it is very wrong for guys to sexual harass women. But then on the other hand, you have to have a 50-50 shot of proving. So if someone's accused, you have to protect the victim, and you have to protect the person being accused rights until you come up with whatever evidence you have.
Right.
And so if people are accusing people for sexual harassment and they're getting fired right away, that's kind of wrong because you don't know all the facts. And
Right.
so-
But I think in most of the cases that have come out,
Right.
I would dare say in the private sector, like the Harvey Weinsteins, the Matt Lauers, these guys. Well, Harvey hasn't really confessed to anything.
Well, see, Harvey's a different story.
Yeah.
And I'm not in the entertainment business, but it all started with Bill Cosby. So
Well, yeah.
So this started with Bill Cosby.
Lord.
So when Bill Cosby was accused, Gloria, whatever her name
Allred,
is.
Gloria Allred.
She was all over the news every day. Every news agency was accusing he's a died rapist, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
This man, this other man, Weinstein, Harvey, they knew he was doing the same exact thing. Never mentioned it.
Yeah.
Never mentioned it. So now when someone finally mentions it, and now it's, wow, it's a big deal. But it was a big deal when Bill Cosby was accused. So this should have been on the news also. And then now it just opened up the floodgates for all the other old Caucasian white men.
Right.
Let's be honest, they're in power.
Russell
Being
Simmons,
accused of
though,
being
is now part of that group, though.
Yeah.
Now Russell
That's
Simmons,
unfortunate.
yes, it's
And
unfortunate.
he said, I'm sorry. He confessed to it. He, you know, I think the difference of what's happening is that these men are saying, yeah, I did that.
Right. They're
And
owning
that's
up
where
to it.
they're owning up to it. Some of them are owning up to it. Roger Ailes, when Gretchen Carlson took down Roger Ailes, that I feel was what was the catalyst that just was the last drop that imploded the Harvey Weinsteins of the world. And then they went, it was Roger Ailes and Bill O'Reilly. Like that started the thread. Harvey Weinstein came later, but that was a big, big, big coup when Gretchen Carlson came up against the head of Fox News.
Yeah.
And toppled him. She toppled him.
And they proved that.
And they proved it.
Yes.
And then out of that came a plethora of women that said, yeah, on Fox News, that they would have been sexually harassed or sexually abused. So yeah, it just kind of, you know, tumbled. But and Roger Ailes never fessed to any of it. He paid everybody off, which, you know, is like, why are you paying them off if you didn't do anything wrong,
Then
right?
fight against it, yeah.
Yeah. So he paid all these women off, even for for Bill O'Reilly, he paid those women off. So they were paying all these women off, but they never said, I did it.
Right.
Bill O'Reilly never said, I did it, even though he paid, God knows, millions of dollars to these women. So that's the difference between them and those conservative folks, and then the liberal guys on this side saying, you know what, I'm sorry. The Al Frankel, Frankel saying, I did it. I'm sorry. So there is
sorry,
some.
don't cut it.
No,
You
it doesn't
already-
cut it, but I'm saying that at least they're confessing to
Right.
it. What pisses me off is when somebody said, I never did anything, and you're like, really?
But the problem I have is in the private sector, they have been accused and they've been let go immediately, which is fine, which is supposed to.
'Cause there's
in
money
the public
involved.
sector, we're talking about congressmen and senators. They've been accused, and we have to go through all this
Right.
all this little.
Oh my
investigation.
goodness.
Hoops.
So
It's
it started-
terrible.
It
Yes,
started
fire
with
hoops.
POTUS.
Yes.
So it started with POTUS.
Yes, he set the tone for
He
this.
said it, and he made it okay.
And he
Yes.
made it okay.
And because there were no repercussions for what happened to him, there was no backlash. People, his own wife, said, "Oh, it was just locker room talk." They tried to blow it off, and then it.
Well, you can't
You
find a
make it-
first lady. Is there a first lady? I don't even know a first lady because she don't even stay in the White House. And I'm
Took us
waiting
6 months to move
Well,
in.
I'm waiting to talk to her because I just want to ask her what's her agenda. And
Yeah.
So when she says
I don't think
bullying,
she has
She
one.
wants to stop bullying,
Well,
but
she
she
needs to
can't
start with her
stop.
husband.
Media,
but
right.
she can't stop her
Yeah.
own
She gotta
husband.
start with her
So
husband
I don't
first.
really. She might need to be working on that.
but the sexual harassment. Now, see,
Yep.
what I hope you guys are listening. I'm waiting for them to bust the case out when all these rich white guys go to the Philippines to mess with them little
Yeah.
kids.
Ooh,
So and they know who they are. But now let's get the congressman or the guy who's running Roy out in Alabama.
Roy Moore.
Right, yeah.
Now, to me, it's kind of he's been accused, but they're still going to vote him in,
Yep.
even though the difference between
Let's pray
him,
not.
he's messing with 16-year-olds, which are little girls.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that.
But people are having a hard time with it, and I think the reason why it's not really being a successful argument is because they're saying it happened so long ago. And I wish that, yes, do I wish that she would have come out
So-
sooner? Yes.
So
but
if I was a child molester, I could say, "Woo,
In 1920.
hey."
yeah.
So if I was that 18-year-old kid in California who just got arrested for molesting 50
Oh, my
50
God.
kids. So should he say,
When
hey,
he started when he was 10.
yeah, so he should so should
They
he
should
say,
turn the
hey,
other way.
Those kids was like 9, 8, 15
Right.
years ago. I was young.
Right.
Don't charge me with that.
Right.
That's-
And
that's-
if
it's
they're
the
going to
same.
charge him, then we absolutely should be
You should go
looking
after
at this. But the fuel is that these people that are for him, that are, backing Roy Moore, are saying to people, he is a good person. He's a Christian person. But that doesn't mean that just because it was a long time ago and he's a
Right.
Christian person, he's a good person, and he's got a wife and his wife
That
believes him,
sounds like-
it doesn't mean that it can't happen.
Right.
It just brings it deflates it,
That-
I guess, because it's happened so long ago.
You know what that
And
statement
it's
sounds like?
Suspect.
The statement sounds like this quote: "I'm not racist. I have black friends."
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, I agree. I agree. But I think I want the people of Alabama, to look beyond what these people are
Yeah, but
saying.
we're talking about Alabama.
I know, but let's have faith that there are people in
Yeah.
Alabama
Somebody
that
has.
might be
Listen,
watching
Donald Trump
us and
just,
listening to us.
just
that y'all need
supported
to
him,
go out there
tweeted
and,
that they
and
needed
vote
to vote for
against
him.
him.
So let's see what that happens.
Well, that's when you have two perverts.
Yeah.
yeah, but like you said, so the president set the tone. He
right.
did not. There were no repercussions for him. So now it's okay for other people that are in an elected office.
Yes.
They understand how hard it is going to be to prove this, and no one is really going to make that argument for them. Well, maybe if Roy Moore gets elected, I think. Someone came out over the weekend and said that they would consider doing an investigation, but that's all like a consideration. And you have many more other things that are on their plate than to worry about whether or not we're going to investigate him. And some people were saying, okay, so why are, no one can get investigated in the Senate, but we can, all these other people in the in the private sector can get fired, because it comes down to dollars and cents. It comes down to corporations. It comes down to you're messing with people's money. And then you have the confessions like Matt Lauer. And so I feel like in the Matt Lauer situation, you were saying, why, are people just falling, too quickly, and you have to be cautious. And I do agree, because I do think that there are two sides to every story. But I think with the Matt Lauer situation, I think the human resources people had so much evidence already that they were like, yeah, we're gone.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
If you have evidence, yes. And in the public sector, you still need evidence, but I think you can do just like any other sector. You suspend people.
Yes.
Right.
I agree. And
There should be something done.
there should be something done. But if it's not done, then it goes back to the onus is on us on election day.
Yes.
Don't bring that person back in, because they didn't
Yes.
even want to leave when they got caught for bad behavior.
Right.
And they're like, we're not leaving. We're not stepping
Right.
down. We're not. And I'm talking about
Right.
Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah.
It's across the board. Behavior
and
is not.
and us, the people who elected these people, go and write to your Congress people, go to the elected officials that you have elected, and say that you are concerned about this, because we're the people that put these people in office. And I think people forget about that. Like we
The
tend
power.
to, yes, that we act like we have absolutely no power. And I'm here to tell you, we have so much power. You guys need to learn how much power we have. I mean, listen, if Meghan Markle, when she was 11 years old, if
Wrote
she
a
could get
letter.
if she could get a commercial changed, I'm like, stop, people. Like, how much power do we have? We
Yeah.
have a lot. And
Yeah.
it's persistence, and it's voices and coming together, and we have to create change. So much change.
Yeah. So I was going to say something about this past Friday. I know it's all over the media this morning on Twitter, and I'm looking at it. But this past Friday, I was watching The View, and The View had a breaking news story, and it just turned out to be inaccurate information that was given to Joy Behar.
Oh, it was inaccurate.
It was inaccurate information. Yeah, that the
Fake
moment
news.
it was
Oh.
otherwise known as fake news. And so what happened was they were live on the
Yeah.
show, and so one of the producers ran up and gave her a card,
Yeah,
like the ones
breaking
we
news.
have. Breaking news. She reads it. She gets all excited and is just like, "Yay! Lock him up! Whatever."
Yeah.
And so later that evening, it proved that Brian Ross, I believe, was the reporter who works for ABC Nightly News. The information that he stated and provided for to be read was not vetted or accurate, and so then it became fake news, and of course Donald Trump went to town.
Wow.
But which would really angered me, because I was sharing with someone this morning, is that when I worked in the newsroom back in the day, which is like 100 years ago, the legal department was breathing down your neck. I mean, even if you misspelled
Yeah.
something on a chyron, they were like, you have to, like they were on it. And I feel like, how do we get so
Yeah.
much stuff done?
Yeah.
Because we're living in a 24-hour news cycle, and we want we want to be first to break the news, right? So we're not vetting our information.
That's
so
dangerous.
And it is dangerous. So that's what gives this crazy president more fuel to say fake news. You see, they
Yes.
brought something up. So we have to, we have to take responsibility, people.
That
Media,
wasn't good.
we have to, that was a terrible mistake that happened live on the air, to the
Yeah.
embarrassment of that news organization, to the embarrassment of Joy Behar. That was
Yeah.
awful. And we need to just take a beat. I know everybody's, hysterical with the Mueller investigation and they want to get all that information out, but take a beat, make sure what you're saying is accurate,
It's
because
accurate, so
then
it doesn't come back.
because then it makes him look like he's the sane one.
Yep.
And we lose. We keep losing with him, because then what he says starts sounding true.
True.
Yeah.
And it's awful.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to say about
Fact
the
check.
fact check, please. Fact
Before
check.
you post anything on Facebook.
Yeah, and don't believe everything you read on Twitter. Oh my goodness. I could put up a whole story. My husband and I were laughing yesterday because something came up that we knew, and he said, "You want to put it on Twitter?" And I looked at him, I'm like, "Have you lost your mind? Like, are you crazy?" Because you could just create this.
You could create and spin a story.
Spin a story, and
Let me try right now.
you better cut that out.
But real quick go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, to wrap up sexual harassment, as a man
Yes.
in the workforce,
Yes.
how do you feel like you have to walk on eggshells now? Do you feel like, okay, we all just need to have better conversations? Do you feel like we need to have just basic respect for one another? Are you afraid to compliment a woman at the workforce?
Yes, exactly. Have you changed your behavior? Do you feel like you have to, like,
because you
not
work with a
not
ton of
because
women.
you're a harasser. I'm just saying now, are you being more tentative?
Whoa, hell
No. No.
Robert Burns is not a harasser.
No. Are you more tentative? Because I had to have a conversation with my husband. I'll be like, listen.
I think moving forward, I think you have to have a conversation with your sons.
Absolutely.
I think you have to have a conversation with your daughter. I think HR needs to have a conversation with employees. The owners need to have a conversation with the staff. As a man, you can be accused for anything. If you say hello to a coworker, you can say hello, and that person may have had a bad day, and they may take it wrong. And so they may go to HR and say, "Hey, this person said hello." So by law, if someone files a complaint, HR has to do investigation.
Wow.
So it doesn't matter what you say. So the best scenario I can say as a man, you can just say hello to a woman and leave it at that. If you're a single man, because I'm married, but if you're a single man, I think you'll have a lot of problems moving forward with this environment, because you could try to ask a lady out and she may not take it well and report you.
But why would you want to be asking people out that you work with?
It doesn't matter if you.
It doesn't matter. I mean,
doesn't
why
matter.
not? You might like.
Because you don't shit where you sleep.
Well, that's.
Is that?
I
I mean,
don't think
that's
that's
kind of like, you know.
For instance, like, what if you say, "Hey, I'm going to get some coffee. Would you like a coffee?"
Yeah.
So if I'm asking you, you may take that as you're
As
coming
an
on
advance,
to me.
yes.
I'm going to HR, and then HR will say, "Well, I have a complaint that you were sexual harassment."
Well, but I think it also is in the intent. Now, if it's a crazy woman, and this is what I talk to my boys about, is that women are crazy, and if they don't like you, I think this becomes a very slippery slope for us as women, and we have to be very conscious of it. And like you
But
said,
you're
talk
guilty.
to your daughters.
You're guilty.
Who's guilty?
If in their eyes, you're guilty. So if you, I'm just being for
But that's
real.
only if the lady has a problem. Like,
If
like
a lady-
a regular woman that has no agenda, that doesn't have any problem with you as a person,
Correct.
should not take into offense, "Hey, I'm going to go get some coffee. Would you like to take
You're talking about
coffee?"
someone who's sane. I'm talking about somebody in the
Right.
workplace. Somebody in the workplace
Right.
who just had
a bad morning.
Had a bad morning. Just says, I mean, that person could be the nicest person, and you could say, "Hey, do you want a coffee?" If that person goes to HR and says for anything, because especially California, you can sue for anything.
Yeah.
I've been sexual harassed. Your life as a man is going to be turned upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to ask you, "What did you say? How did you say it?" And you're like, "All I asked her was for coffee."
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what did you mean? I mean, I was going to go get some coffee.
Right.
And then, so now you have to defend yourself.
Right.
So they're
Wow.
not. So you are already being accused. So now you have
Right.
to prove yourself.
Right.
So for them, because you just said it's a money thing, for the HR department
Right.
and the owner, they're thinking as, "I need to handle this because
Right. Is this gonna
she
be a
could sue-
liability?"
Yep, she could sue and
Right.
take it further. So I
Right.
need to figure out who am I going to let go.
So I think then the key is that the HR people really need to be like sociology majors.
Yeah.
So
Well, no,
have
no, but let me tell-
psychology
no, no,
classes
let me tell you that-
and take
no,
into
they don't.
account. No,
No, they
do.
do not.
They have to
Let me
take
tell you
into
why.
account the intent.
Let me tell
of the
you why
person
HR is
making
not
the,
responsible for that. Because HR's interest is only the company.
Correct.
It's not the employee.
It's not, HR is
HR
not.
does not defend the rights of the employee.
Okay, but if you have an employee that's going to sit here and systematically take down or accuse all of your male employees,
Well, I didn't say all of them.
If I'm just saying, like, if there becomes a pattern, so you have to look at this woman and then you have to decide who's the liability. Is it this crazy chick or
Right.
is it this guy?
But
It'll
that's
be
it.
the guy.
But that'd be a pattern. Mm-hmm. We're talking
You have to
about
establish
one
a pattern.
Yeah.
One
Right.
incident.
Yeah.
If I as a guy went to HR and said, "This lady, not you,
No.
this lady grabbed my butt,"
Oh Lord.
all they're gonna do is go, "Okay, we'll take
Well,
we'll take it
yeah.
down."
No, they shouldn't.
They'll
They
take
should
it down.
investigate.
They'll
it.
take it down, but they're not going to question this lady as if This lady came.
Are
to
you
me,
sure?
I'm
Yeah.
100%
Yeah.
sure.
Really?
Yeah. Look up the role of human resources in any private
But
corporation.
it's still sexual harassment. It
It's-
doesn't matter if it's a male or a female being harassed. They should investigate it
But
with the same veracity.
They look at it. They look at it as an
Veracity.
attorney will look at it this way: which one's going to cost us the most money?
Ugh, that's
and
not
so
good.
if I and now they're looking at the climate. Now if I
Yeah,
go with the
exactly.
guy,
It changes everything.
yeah, if I go with the guy, then this lady is going to go to Gloria, and we're going to have a problem. if I go with if I
Good old Gloria.
if I go with the lady,
Gloria
if I go with the
already.
lady, this guy most likely is just going to be upset and leave
Right.
the company.
Well, that's not a good climate. So
I'm
people,
just-
folks,
I'm
y'all
just
need to
saying.
stop doing.
Yeah.
Don't be like that. That's
Well,
that's
like, I'll
ugly.
give you another example. There was a guy. That's why I said in the earlier we have to be very careful. I'll give you another scenario. There was a guy who played high school football here in Los Angeles and was what they call a 5-star football player in high school. And he had an offer to go to USC. A lady accused him of rape. He spent 5 years in prison. The lady sued the school district and got millions of dollars.
Wow.
The 5th year while the kid was in jail, she admit, I lied.
Wow.
Wow.
That's awful.
So,
Yeah.
so his life was over. You can't give back his life.
Yeah, you can't get back those 5
So,
years.
Yeah.
you can't. So you have to be.
So
very
then, what is the
careful.
advice then for men? So what are you telling men? What are you telling
What I
your
tell my
sons?
son right now is, you can't really say. You can say hello and keep walking.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't
Keep
sit
it
there-
moving.
Good
you gotta-
morning.
you
Good
say-
night.
you can say-
Goodbye.
You can say standard words.
Yeah.
Hello. Good night. Don't comment on her shoes.
Yeah.
Don't comment on how she looks, because
Yeah.
some people are going to take that wrong. And
Yeah.
you, as an African American man, don't want to be accused of sexual
something,
harassment
yeah.
or bothering somebody,
Yeah.
because that's going to follow you.
It's
awful.
It's awful. It really is awful, and it changes the way people operate in corporations. It's even changing the way people are having Christmas parties. I've heard about it on the news, and they're not serving alcohol in some
Nope.
Christmas parties. They're
'Cause they're
very
liable.
Yeah, there's a limit of the time. The whole everything's changing because
Yeah.
of this incredible wave of sexual assault and sexual
Yeah, and
harassment.
I think it's bad because you have men that were doing the most that did not need to be nasty and dirty, and then you got crazy women who are also doing the most, and so put them two together, and it's not a good scenario. So people, y'all need to change. Y'all,
Yeah.
ugh.
But
Y'all make me sick.
it starts with I think the climate of our culture
Starts
is
at
what's
home.
it's what has. I think we've reached an all-time peak because
Yeah.
I think it's in corporate America. I've said it before. It's in our music. It's in our commercials. Everything. We're so over sexualized that we let our guard down, and we thought it was all cool and fun, and how we kind of communicated with each other until it crossed the dark side.
I think it can be, and you have to set those tones and those boundaries for yourself. Like,
But it can be if you're setting tones and boundaries. Like you have to say, I don't want you to do that, but then everybody else is doing it. I'm just saying that.
I think it started with unfortunately to me it started with rich white men, and it started with the women's movement, and I'm not saying this, but this is how those guys I think you want to work in the workplace and you want the same right to be treated.
Listen,
as
I
men
wrote about it in my blog.
and be treated
Put
as
those
men.
bras back on.
And so those guys who may have been taught you got the world at your hands, you treat
Right.
people like you want to be treated, that's how they treated people. And so
and they're
it's-
like, women, you want to be here,
you
you
want to
deal
be here,
with
so
it.
you got to
Yep.
deal with it. So
Yep.
just
Yeah.
like
That's exactly
just
what
like
it-
POTUS said, it's locker room talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been in tons of locker rooms. They've never talked about grabbing women's crotch.
And I even went on to say that we allowed it.
Yeah.
Women allowed it. We allowed it because we wanted a seat at the table. We didn't
Yeah.
come with our own clear boundaries. We just
Yeah.
said, well, this is what I'm going to take to get here. And I've worked with somebody who
Yeah.
did that, and I witnessed it with my own eyes.
Oh,
and I
female?
thought,
Yeah.
And because she wanted so desperately to have a seat at the top
Yep.
table, that she compromised, and that trickled down to everybody else. We
Yeah.
created it, and now because some women, not all of us, but some of us, when no, you can't treat us like that. We're like, well, so and so
But
liked
yeah,
it. So
homegirl over there
Well,
that's
there's
been working here for
there's-
25 years. She's okay with the Betsy. She don't care.
There was
She don't care how we talk.
someone told me a story that women, and I think this came from a woman, that she went to a conference and she said that women who hit the ceiling change the way they dress. So the example would be, I guess the example was when women are VPs, they want to not wear dresses, they want to wear suits to fit in. When they don't have to. You're there because of your intelligence, the way you do business. So you don't have to put on a suit to fit in. You still can wear a dress and still be powerful. And I think that's what men with power look at. You want to sit at the table, then you're going to have to act like us and dress like us, which is wrong. And I think that goes back to what both of you guys said. Women need to just say, I'm a woman. I still have power, but you're going to respect me.
Right.
Yep.
Right. We have to take it back. We have to bring it back. Like we took it so far, then now we have to kind of okay, everybody calm down.
And we have an opportunity to do that because we've got more generations coming up and more people that are more aware. So parents, you need to be more aware of how you're raising your sons and your daughters and have these conversations.
This is
just human decency, self-respect, and boundaries, and be like, no, I don't do that.
And these old school ways of thinking, whether it's because of race, gender, we need to change those. Change those things. Yep. So let's change the topic a little bit.
Yes, let's do that before we run out of time.
Yeah, because we only got a few more minutes.
Oh, Lord, my coworker, can I just say, I want to read what somebody just wrote.
Okay.
I'm just going to read this. My coworker used to joke about sex with their partners during lunch. 2 of them were women. I need my glasses. This is good.
Oh, Lord.
One was a man. Glasses. They did it for months because I witnessed it. One of the women got offended all of a sudden, filed a complaint, and the man got fired. I was very upset personally for the man because when they were all talking nasty, he got fired. Not fair.
Yeah,
correct.
That's not fair.
That's your point he's making.
My point.
Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you. That's just that one day.
Yeah.
One
not
day she wakes up on the wrong foot, and you say something, and she's like, no.
We can't be playing those kind of games.
And she could have had an argument with her husband that night.
Yeah.
And guess who paid
not
for
cute.
it?
Y'all are not cute.
We got to stop that.
Yeah, it's not cute. So we're going to talk about a little bit of pop culture.
Sure.
Pop culture stuff. I know you want to talk about the whole Beyonce Jay-Z thing, and then the engagement of Meghan Markle to Prince Harry. So whatever y'all want to start with.
Okay, I just want black kids.
I know. Listen, I am just so thrilled.
Why
that
do we
makes
have to
me
bring
smile.
Race into it? Why do
because it is about race.
Why?
You know why? I'm gonna tell you why.
Oh my gosh!
I'm gonna tell you why. Because this is the first time you ever seen one of the Prince
of the royal family. In the history of the royal family.
Okay.
Go outside of their natural color line.
Yes.
Okay.
In the history of it's been in other royal families around the world.
Right.
But not in the British royal family.
Okay.
This is huge.
She's like,
she will change the ancestry line forever. It is amazing.
And plus she's beautiful.
Princess Diana is so proud of her boys. Go.
Yes.
You go.
I like that.
Yes. I think that Princess Diana would be
incredibly proud.
She would, like he said in an interview, that they would be best friends.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Meghan Markle is such an honorable, strong woman, no matter what her race or color is.
That's true.
I think from a very young age, I love that she was an activist, and
she was born for this.
Yes, and she almost reminds me of like Diana, like how if Diana had a bigger voice, that she would be close. She would be.
Well, I think both boys picked women like that because I think the other princess,
Kate,
I can't think, Kate, princess,
they picked their mother.
Yes, they picked their mother. Women that were very much liberal women. They lived with their women. They didn't, go for virginal women. They just said, I love this woman. I want to be with her.
Strong women
that had their own. They were in their own lane, doing their own thing.
Yep.
And kudos to them.
Should I ask him, how did you approach her? Sexual harassment. Should I ask him?
Oh, OMG.
No, they talked about it in an interview. It was a blind date. They got set up on a blind date.
Nice.
They had a mutual friend that they did not disclose.
I know.
And they went out on a date. And the crazy thing is that she didn't really know much about him, and he didn't know much about her because he wasn't watching her. She's an actress.
Yes.
And he wasn't watching the show or anything like that. So, and she was like, I didn't really follow all of the stuff that you're doing.
This is a question I have for her. When you went on a blind date and you showed up, you see all these guys in suits and guns.
I know, come on, who did you think you were going to go meet?
What went through
she
your
knew
brain?
who he was, but she didn't know, because really he's like the bad boy brother.
Right.
You know? So she didn't know, all of his
She didn't follow
stuff.
his, shenanigans.
No, she knew who he was.
Right.
But she wasn't like, oh, well, I heard
that
about,
would be the question I'd ask her.
Yeah.
When you showed up and all these guys in suits and guns.
Yeah, she knew who he was.
What went through your brain?
Yeah,
right
she
there?
knew who he was.
Who
She
am I
just
gonna
didn't know
meet?
his shenanigans.
If I meet
per se.
Jay-Z.
I just think it was let's not even go there with that nonsense. But I was going to say is that I just think it's so beautiful because it's an American story. We only had that once with Grace Kelly, and I was a little girl in that era.
Yeah.
So this is an American story, being married to a royal. This is like our Grace Kelly of of
I think
modern
it's
day.
going to be beautiful. I think
It's going to be
yeah.
beautiful.
I think
Listen, I'm all about the royal
congratulations to
stuff.
them. I love them.
I know. We wish them
Young
all the
love.
best. Yes,
and
it's so beautiful.
Can I go to the wedding? I'm out there.
Oh
Oh,
my
God.
gosh,
No.
we would not
Email
allow
me.
you in the wedding.
Email
Not
me. I want
no.
to interview you.
Okay, and so
Okay.
real quick, Beyonce and Jay-Z working out their marital problems through their art, through their music. So in fact, he did come out and say yes, he did
Yes,
cheat.
he did cheat.
And he, cheated. So everything that she said in Lemonade was true. She was gonna take her baby and leave her husband.
And everything, and his confessional was through 444.
in his
So is
new
that the
album.
same reason why her sister was beating the crap out
Yes, it is.
of her? Then,
Probably.
Yes, that is all very
but
true.
listen, that's family. Like it, I get it. Family
but
gonna
the
stand up
only
for family.
yeah, and I get that too. But the only thing I had a problem with was like, okay, now we got to. We're paying into your we're making you more successful because your marital woes are art. Like that, like really, because that goes to the character of the person. Like he's just spinning that, and they're just making money off of it.
That's a promotion.
That's so
That's a
crazy to me.
promotion.
Like I was just offended by that. I'm like, marital infidelity is a serious problem.
It is, but also maybe just like people write books and put out self-help books, maybe this is they're helping people through their music.
Okay, here's a question for Jay-Z. If you're listening,
He's not.
what if your wife did that to you?
Mm-hmm.
I think she did say she did cheat on him though.
With
Afterwards,
what?
I think in one of the songs she was like
Afterwards?
basically after
Really?
afterwards. I think
After
so.
she forgave him,
or after she
because
found
he
out.
said she forgave him.
Well, I'm
he
sure
never
she
said
did.
anything about her going out
I
on
need to know
him.
who the guy was because
Oh
he should be
my.
famous. He should be
I don't
famous.
see that in her character,
right.
but I don't know her, so I can't
Listen
judge.
to Lemonade.
Well,
no, I
if
don't
she-
listen to any of that.
Well,
if
you have
she-
to before you
No.
judge.
Well, if she cheated on him,
Mm-hmm.
Jay-Z, I got a question for you.
Oh God.
Are those your kids?
Oh Lord.
Just
and we are
asking.
going to end.
I'm
That
just
is
asking.
so
I'm
messy.
just
That is
asking.
so messy.
Robert Burns is messy.
I'm
here
asking.
Yeah, we
on
didn't say
Table
that.
for
He
Five.
said that.
Jay-Z,
We are
let
not.
me
Those
know.
are your kids,
I'll
Jay-Z.
get a blood te- I'll get a blood test.
Listen, we believe
said a
Beyonce
blood
is a woman of dignity.
You know,
She-
if
would
she
you
ch-
cut that out?
She said she
Oh
did
my
it
gosh!
too.
Listen, we want to
You're
thank
weird.
Robert Burns for being so colorful
I'm
as he
telling you.
normally and always is.
Get a blood test.
That's why we
Lord
always have him in these hot topics. We think he
18
brings a
years.
lot of color.
18
But
years.
hey, we hope you better be quiet. We hope you've been informed, educated, and entertained. I'm sure you were entertained
the
today.
child wasn't mine.
Catch us
Oh.
next.
Monday.
Oh,
Next
Felicia, someone said starting rumors. No, that was Browns. That was Burns.
That's
Okay.
not me. Burns.
We hope to see you next Monday. We'll have a great show. Don't
Yes.
miss it live on LA Talk Radio.
Have a great
week.
Bye.
You're listening to Table for Five with Felicia and Annette, only on LA Talk Radio.